for a second because I kind of disappear when I sit down. Suzanne, I'm so happy to be with you again today in our holy community. And Suzanne, when we were talking about what she would be speaking about today, she suggested a couple songs. And this one actually has been on my mind so much lately that just a few weeks ago I had looked it up and decided I really need to just know this song right now. This is a song for this moment all over again. And so I'm sure you'll recognize it, and I ask you to open your holy voices, your breath into your body, and just sing along with us.
Most glorious things about speaking here is that the musicians
The musicians. I have to say that what's so remarkable, I was just telling my friend Kim and Jimmy here that whenever I've come to speak, one of the musicians always contacts me and says, what do you want? I was like, really? Well, this is what I'm talking about. What do you think? And then I show up, and they've actually learned a song or two or three just for my talk. And I don't think there's anything that could make a speaker feel more honored, than that. Or a person in general, it's such an honor, so thank you. And they're such great musicians. Let's see, a couple of things. For those of you who know Donna B., she says she's sorry she can't be here. She meant to be here today, but she's driving back from Bend, and they didn't want to risk weather problems, so she was going to be here and do a little flute music also. But she says hi, so I told her I'd tell you all that she said hi. There's also a clipboard in the back. I will have a handout after today's talk that if you would like the handout, give me your email and I will send you that handout. And the main purpose for that is just saving paper, not having to print too many or not enough or whatever. So if you want that, go ahead and just sign up on the clipboard back there. I forgot to put my pen back there with it though. And one other quick housekeeping thing from Wairika. How was the past coming over?
A little rainy tonight.
And you came over too? Oh yeah, very good. Oh, you're over there too, that's right. Yeah. So it's fine. Yeah, I'm leaving tomorrow, so I'm leaving early in the morning and I need to get over the pass, so I'm just wondering, pay attention. Does it look like there's any danger of anything weird happening? No, okay, good. Because I've got to leave at like 4 a.m. or something, so. Anyway, when I was first asked to do a talk today, I had decided on this idea of accessing our healer within, but I had a different purpose for that, or a different focus for that at the time. And then I ended up then using the same tools for a women's gathering for holding space for the people at Standing Rock. So we went through these 4 ways to actually hold space for the people there at Standing Rock. So I thought, I'll do this for this talk. Not necessarily for the people at Standing Rock, but for any time you need to actually hold space for yourself or other people. Sometimes we don't really know what to do if somebody's asking for prayers, or sometimes, like if you're part of a prayer circle, then you actually do some active intention giving, some active prayers, that kind of thing. But otherwise, I found for myself that can be sort of a something to say, sending prayers, or something like that, but you're not really doing anything, or you're not really, you think that you're doing something, but it's sort of said and then you move on, I found. So I really like having a system where I can actually sort of hold space, and I've done this with some other people. For instance, we knew of a young teen that was missing, and so we gathered together and we went through this process for her. Then once this whole political thing, when I thought it couldn't get any crazier, just turned into this circus, and the stress just kept going up. It just hasn't come down. I thought this is what we need to do today. That we'll use the same system. It's the guided visualizations that I'll take you through are slightly different because they're focused in this direction with the intention of really bringing peace to yourself. How can you step out of the madness, no matter what side of the fence you're on? It doesn't make any difference. It's stressful for everybody. And so I don't want to get into any of that. I just want to give help to offer some tools for just pulling out of that and knowing what you can actually do to not only help yourself be healthier around all this, but in the act of helping yourself be healthier around this, you're putting that out, you're putting that vibration out into the world,
in helping to calm the whole situation, or at least, make it through, if we can do that. So, let's see, the other thing that I just really wanted to say about this, this time that just seems so crazy is that it's also very exciting, because I think that we are all, again, no matter what side of the fence you're on, no matter what your beliefs are, I think we're all really clear that change is happening. We are really at this very exciting point, actually, in time. And change usually doesn't happen until there's sort of a crash and burn in some way or another. I mean, the phoenix bird flies out of the ashes. So we don't, none of us are really clear on how it's going to go. And when we're not clear on how it's going to go, we step into survival mode. And so it's sort of that fight or flight thing going on for each of us in our own way. At the same time, something good usually comes out of it anyway, even though it's a painful walk getting there. Somewhere along the line, our collective survival instincts find a way. So, I see this as a very exciting time. Again, the people at Standing Rock are really, really making a stand and collecting people globally behind this idea and really making a difference. We had Bernie in there shaking it up, and things are not going to be the same now because he's brought up so many issues that all sides are taking a look at, and people are taking a look at. It has changed, that's already changed things. All of these things have happened. So this particular method of accessing inner peace came to me many years ago. Now, first of all, I have to tell you that my day job is that I'm a writer, I'm an author who talks about the monthly hormonal rhythm of women, their lunar rhythm. And in that lunar rhythm, we have 4 phases. Just like in our 24-hour circadian rhythm, we have a resting phase, a building phase in the morning. Sleeping is resting. We get up in the morning, that's building. We hit our stride during the day, that's expressing. And then we get tired, and that's a deconstructing phase. So there's a resting, building, expressing, deconstructing. And women have the same thing in a 28-day female body clock, basically. But I use these 4 phases for all kinds of things, because we're really just talking about a lunar rhythm. And we're all lunar and solar rhythmic. So these 4 phases have worked since, time eternity. And they can work for us, the same pattern can work for us to access healing. And this idea of how I came to blending these 4 phases into healing within, or helping to hold space in another way, came from attending a vision quest many years ago. I wasn't going through the vision quest myself, but I was the right-hand person for a friend of mine going through a vision quest. And what that meant is that we were all camping for many days out in Colorado. She was, along with a bunch of other people, she was sent out into her own camp area for 4 days to access some information for herself. And in that, she was fasting. There were, no food. And as her right-hand person, what it meant was that my job back at the camp was to eat for her. Was to eat for her and sleep for her and drink water for her. And then go and check to see if her little flag was up to make sure she wasn't in distress. But that's an idea with many indigenous cultures. What am I trying to come up with? Sundance, thank you. Sundance, that's what happens, is because the people who are in ceremony are not eating, they're fasting. So the people who are holding space are keeping themselves healthy for the people who are in ceremony. Does that make sense for everybody? Okay, so in a sense, that's how we can use this method, is that we can hold space for others. But before we can hold space for others, we have to put on basically our own oxygen mask first, right? We have to hold space for ourselves first. And another way that I was taught this through an indigenous teacher as well was that the first medicine woman who taught me how to smudge with sage. First, her biggest preference or instructional piece for me was you have to smudge yourself first before you smudge anybody else. So that's a piece that I have really held strongly, no matter what. If I'm going to smudge a group of people, I have to smudge myself first. Someone might come up and say, oh, can I smudge you? And it's like, well, no, because you haven't been smudged yet, kind of thing. We have to smudge ourselves first. We have to put our own oxygen masks on first before we can hold space for anybody else. Because we have to really get that energy clean ourselves as best we can. Really get our intention there. So what I'd like to do is describe a little bit what these 4 phases would look like within this particular day, with holding space for election time. So I have a tendency to think of the new moon as this resting phase. So when you think about that, it's very internal, and it's honoring ourselves and our ancestors. And I'll go into a guided visualization with that in a few minutes. The next phase is that waxing gibbous. It's heading towards the full moon. And that is really becoming the light. And that represents attracting, communicating, seeing the good. It's really about open-heartedness and unity. The full moon represents full expression. Stepping into your truth and your authenticity. Basically, you're the pillar of light. And so you are the example, standing tall. And I see this as compassionate leadership. And the 4th phase would be the waning crescent. Losing light, going inward, observing, processing, and in survival mode. Really, courage and bravery, facing your fears. Because that losing the light thing is survival. And that's where we're at now. But what I'd like to do is take you through all 4 phases so that you embody that idea of how to access this on your own. How to, when things just get too crazy and you find yourself almost feeling ill that you're so stressed out about anything that you're hearing in the news, any article that you see, anything that you want to reshare on Facebook, and you've been worked up into a frenzy just like that. So if you can learn to sort of stop and check in and take yourself through these 4 phases, and it doesn't have to take a long time, or you can choose one of these phases that you might find serves you particularly well. But I'd like to take you through all 4 so that you have an idea of what I'm talking about. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything here. Oh yeah, okay, so this is what I want you to do. I'd like for you to just sit up. And the first thing I'm going to do is just take you through some hand movements around these 4 phases. Because if you can embody these 4 movements, it will help you to remember, how this goes. So the first one would be where you are looking down, you're leaned over, and you're really just protecting yourself. And normally I'd have both hands, but I'm holding the microphone. So that's new moon, that's internal, new moon. The second phase would be the waxing, and you've just got your hands out this way. You want to be comfortable, because I would like for you to do this during the guided visualization. So if your hands are down here, if they're down where you can anchor your arms where you're not uncomfortable, on your lap or whatever works for you, that would be great. The full moon would be this, right? You're extending your light. You can hold your fingers out, or you can, I think it's best if they're sort of relaxed, because then you're not putting out sharp energy. You're putting out gentle, beautiful wisdom. This is your medicine for the planet. Okay? And then the final phase, the waning moon, would be where you have your hands across your heart and you're just looking down. You're not leaning all the way over, but you are protecting yourselves. You're also protecting your core being. And then you're back to that resting phase again. Back down, leaning over. Okay, so Richard is going to accompany me as I take you through each of the stages. We will do one at a time. We'll have a little break in between and each one of these will just be a few minutes, 5 minutes at the most. In between, after the first two, then we'll have a song there to break it up a little bit and that kind of thing. So what I'd like for you to do is just get comfortable. And put your hands in that new moon position and close your eyes and just have your head down. You don't want to be, again, you don't want to hurt your neck, you don't want to do anything uncomfortable. Just get comfortable, but you're really in that sort of internal protective position. While you've got your eyes closed, I'd like for you to just take in a deep breath. Then take in a nice full belly breath. When you're ready, let that out. Focus on your core being. Your first chakra, moving up to your second chakra. Come on up to your third chakra around your diaphragm, your midsection. Your fourth chakra up through your heart. To your throat chakra. Sixth chakra of your third eye, and your crown. Just breathe. Focus back down to that second chakra, the one that really represents the vulnerability of you. Right below your belly. Settle in. This is the place where resting, dark, and quiet lives. It represents the womb space. For the women, they have the womb or womb space. And for men, you've got the wisdom and area that carries that as your birth through the female. This is the vulnerability of our sexuality, of our attraction, of things that we put out in the world. But it's also where transformation happens and growth. Settle in deeper. Nothingness feels exquisite. You are home now. Your internal sanctuary beckons you to sink in further. Clear stress and debris. Visualize sweeping around the edges. Move throughout your entire body, sweeping and letting go. Go back to that midsection and notice how beautiful your internal altar is. As you begin to settle into that darkness, into that home, into that nothingness that feels beautiful and exquisite, your inner sanctuary, I invite you to add flowers or anything that makes you feel good around this altar. Something that feels like home. Pictures of loved ones. I invite you to light a candle on that altar and call in your ancestors. the ones known and unknown who have served you well. You are the representative of this lineage within your unique DNA. What ancestral patterns and wounds would they like for you to acknowledge and release? What gifts have they given you that no one can take away? What would they like for you to heal within yourself? What would they like for you to heal within your family and surroundings? What would they like for you to heal in the world? Honor yourself for all of the good that you are. Shine the light on that. Make a commitment to slow down and be kinder to yourself. Vow to make yourself some nourishing food and to rest well. I invite you to embody the essence of the following affirmation. I honor myself and my ancestors. I promise to take good care of myself. I'd like for you to thank yourself for showing up, and continuing to grow. Thank and honor your ancestors for stepping in for you today, and know that their unconditional love and wise counsel lives within you. Another deep breath. And one more, big belly breath. And let that out, audibly if you like. Sit with that for just a moment. Come on back and open your eyes. So that new moon energy is the essence of self-care. And self-care, when you don't know what else to do, that's number one. Again, it's putting on the oxygen mask first. It's really hard to walk around in the world until you've got yourself feeling aligned and balanced. And that feeling is delicious, especially in the middle of chaos. But more important than that, it's important, and then you are such a help to other people. A source of stability. And that's what everybody needs right now. So now we'll move on to the waxing gibbous. So with your hands, Be comfortable again. Don't put stress on your shoulders or your neck. Do this as easily as you can and as comfortably as you can. Let go of tension. Because now we're going to begin to awaken our light. This is the essence of unity and open-heartedness. And sometimes we think that this should be really easy because this is fun to do. But I find that in times of strife and tug-of-war and battling, this can be the hardest one to do. It's easy to open our hearts to those who we agree with. But it's not easy to open our hearts to those that we don't agree with. So this is some work to do. Doesn't mean that we have to give up our positions. Doesn't mean that our points aren't valid. This just means that we want to stay centered and be a source of wisdom and to be able to make good decisions, especially for our children and the generations coming forward, because it's our responsibility to do so. So we have to find a way. We have to find that way to be able to access some compassion, something good. So this is a great opportunity in awakening our light. So with your hands in that position, sitting up straight, your hands are holding the light. Eyes closed. Breathe. And another belly breath. Breathe in and let it go, audibly if you like. Sink into that and allow the petals of your heart to open. Visualize a beautiful flower at your heart chakra, just slowly opening, just peeling away. So many petals that it just continues to open. One of the most gorgeous things you've ever seen. Think about a person, an animal, a place, or a thing that causes you to feel the sensation of love. A person, an animal, a place, or a thing that causes you to feel the sensation of love. Visualize this sensation as a beautiful light. Allow that sensation of love and light to travel throughout your entire body and mind. And as this love and light travels through your body, it touches each cell. And each of those cells bursts into light itself in an exquisite way. Everything comes online within your system. Everything lines up, begins to feel very healthy. And those cells of light, those stars of light, help the places in your body that have been sore or tired or achy or in pain, needing healing. Feel the love. Feel loved. Hold love. Visualize this love and light calming any places of inner turmoil. See yourself speak to yourself with words of kindness, compassion, intelligence, and understanding. Allow your higher self to tell you, I love you. You're doing a great job. You are good. You are a good person. And you care. See your love and light speaking to others with kindness, compassion, intelligence, and understanding, while also knowing that no one can hurt you with their opinions. Feel how strong you feel and how good that feels. Everything feels aligned. And I invite you to embrace this affirmation. I feel the importance of communicating with open-heartedness and unity. Take a breath. And a big belly breath. And let that go audibly if you like. Come on back. So I'd like for you to just sit with all of that for just a moment. You're becoming the light, letting that light travel through. And we're taking that out into the world. And in that, what we're facing is, when we walk out of here, not a world that has been going through this process right this minute, but we're back out into some chaotic times. So that's the biggest challenge, is knowing how to go about doing that. So we're going to have a song first, and then we're going to move into compassionate leadership after that with the full moon visualization.
Inside the word revolution, kind of hear the word revolve, right? Going around in a circle, in a wheel. And we've actually, in the Hebrew calendar, we've come just out of the waxing moon of Yom Kippur to this full moon. If you've gotten out to see it, the clouds have been kind of parting. Last night my cat woke me up at 2 and wanted to go out, and when I opened the door, it was just this bath of milky silver moonlight, right? So here we are at coming to this full moon, but we've just come out of a time where at the Jewish New Year at Rosh Hashanah, we've come fully around the wheel again in our revolution. So Suzanne asked if we would do this song talking about a revolution. Don't you know, talking about a revolution sounds like a whisper. You know that part, right? Don't you know, talking about a revolution sounds like a whisper. Poor people gonna rise up, take their share. about a revolution. Talking about a revolution. Can't hear you. Come on. What are we talking about? Talking about a revolution. Talking about a revolution. Yes. Yeah, revolution's gonna be louder, right? Talking about a revolution. Oh, yeah. Talking about a revolution. Oh, love revolution. Talking about a revolution. Oh, peace revolution. Talking about a revolution. Oh, hope revolution. Talking about a revolution. Oh, right. Talking about a revolution. Oh, right.
It needs to be turned on, Suzanne. On the bottom,
Battery's good? Okay.
hopefully.
All right. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Cerise. Thank you, Richard. Okay, so this revolution has to happen within ourselves. Okay? It just has to. We each have to find our own way because it's so easy to point out what's wrong with the world. I'm as guilty as anybody. I can really get on a soapbox about anything. But have to bring it back to me. We each have to bring it back because we have to be that example. And just that presence, that alignment makes a difference. That light is attractive all on its own. It's attracting. And it's not something that's ego-driven. It's something that people can feel and feel safe around more than anything. It's a safety net. It's stability. So as we are building that light, I want to take you into the full moon, full expression essence. This is the essence of compassionate leadership. And when we get up to speak, when we get up to post online, when we get out to write articles, it's important that at this point in time, in the middle of all this chaos, that we stop and do our best to call that light in, because the other is so much easier. It's just so much easier to go the other direction. So it does take some focus. And so that's why we've got to take it inward again and go into this particular method in whatever way you do it, whether you do it this way or you have another way to do it, but to access that. So I'm going to ask you to put yourself into that full moon position with your hands, which is out here. Be comfortable again. Anchor your elbows maybe into your sides. We don't want any pulling on your neck or your shoulders. Whatever's comfortable for you. If you've got any injuries, just place your arms in whichever way makes you comfortable. Relax your hands a little bit so that the light that you're putting out is sweet and safe and feels good. Close your eyes. And with your hands, I'd like for you to visualize your medicine for the planet flowing through your hands. You may or may not know what that is, but your deeper essence knows what that is. Just trust that. You don't have to do any work around this. Focus on a line that comes up from the crystalline core of the earth, up through your body, through your feet, through your legs, through your chakras, and out the top of your head, your crown. Beautiful light. It comes online easily because you've already been building that light. You've already taken the light through your cells. Breathe. And a belly breath. Go ahead and let that go audibly if you like. Sit up straighter now. Get centered. Focus on the beautiful light that you radiate. Step into your truth. Peel off the layers of ego and programming that do not serve you. Sink further into the core of who you really are. Allow that truth to come out. Feel the joy when that truth is allowed to be in the light. Feel the calmness. Visualize yourself standing taller with your shoulders back. Take another deep breath. Allow your energy to flow throughout your entire body and essence. What is your medicine for the planet? Is it starting to flow more through all of you? Throughout all of your systems to come online? Perhaps it's been underground for a long time, or it's never seen the light of day. Allow it to break through the surface and come up like a beautiful plant, green and healthy. As you begin to pick from this plant and continue to see it, ingest it, enjoy it, see and feel yourself glow like the fullest expression of the full moon. There's nothing more beautiful than that glorious, radiant, full moon essence. Fullest expression. Be the lighthouse. Strong, tall, extending your radiant wisdom out to the world. Whether you speak about it or not, as you hold it within your body, as your light beams, it will overflow, trusting that it will land in all the places that it needs to land. People feel good around you. I invite you to embody this affirmation. I am a compassionate and wise leader. Take a breath. With your hands, send that medicine out one more time. Let it flow through your hands. Let your essence beam. Feel your entire body smile and feel joy. Another breath. Deep belly breath. Exhale. Sit with that for just a moment. And when you're ready, come on back. So it's always wonderful when we're in that place, when we're feeling like we have finally filled ourselves up and we've got something really amazing to offer. We get up in the morning and we're excited about the world. We go to bed and we can sleep well and we're excited about the next day. But inevitably, there's always a challenge or two that comes up. Something where right when we think we've got it down, something comes up and just smacks us in the forehead or worse. And then we're challenged again. And we scramble to find that light. But what I'm asking you to do is not to scramble for that light, but to face this next phase, because the moon does wane. And if we can get through that waning moon, then we're back into that internal place of safety. So I ask you to sit with your arms crossed, either over your heart or over your core chakra, your power chakra, whatever's more comfortable for you, however you're sitting. It's all kind of the same in the long run. Face forward, sitting up straight. Maybe tilt your head down a little bit, whatever's comfortable there. I'd like for you to breathe, close your eyes. Belly breath again. Check that out. So as you focus on your core area, I'd like for you to feel the strength that cares and protects the rest of your body, mind, and spirit. When our core is strong, we have less injuries. Physically, we have less back injuries, less overall injuries. It holds our body in place. So focusing on this core chakra, feel the calm and ask it to relax more, knowing that it's strong and the structure of it will stay in place. By letting go and letting it relax, you are only allowing it to flow more easily and to become strong and practiced when needed most. Feel your knowing. As you walk in the world, check in on this place. Is it feeling nervous? Can you calm it? The strength comes in the alignment. Focus. Train yourself to focus. To let the outside chaos stay where it's at. Visualize going to the ocean. Visualize yourself not being afraid to go into the ocean. As you walk into that ocean and small waves are coming at you, the water temperature is perfect. And you keep going in. And it beckons you to go further, and you want to go further. As you go a little bit further, you're able to dive through a wave. And as you dive through that wave, I ask you to swim all the way, keep going all the way till you're touching the bottom. At the bottom where you're touching that sand below, you're feeling some little broken up shells. The chaos of the white water, the whitewash, flushes over you. And where you are is peace. Being in the chaos and knowing where the peace is. As you come out, you allow the next wave to take you back to shore easily and effortlessly. As things come your way, face your fears. When your core is strong and you know where the peace is, you can do this. Ask yourself, what is the worst that can happen? In this case, what is the worst that can happen with this election? Allow new insights to emerge on how you will and can handle this with ease. When stress arises, you can easily push it away. Taking one step, and then another step. And as each challenge comes your way, look to your core. Ask it to relax. Know that you are safe and good and can access the light and can face your fears. I ask you to embrace this affirmation. I see this as my higher self initiation and ceremony. I face my fears and challenges with courage. And when I'm courageous, it helps others to be courageous. And all of a sudden things aren't as bad as they seem. I step forward and I'm able to help make wise decisions, to help everything get back on track, and to be the guiding light along with others. I have my own internal wisdom. I've got the wisdom of my ancestors who came before me, who served me well. Not the ones that didn't. But there are many who have. I have the ability to access the light. I have the ability to access my truth. have the ability to allow my medicine to flow through me and to see me through each day. I am brave and I have courage. I am whole and I am loved. I am beautiful inside and out. I'd like for you to take a deep breath. And one more belly breath. Let's do one more big breath and let that out audibly. Thank you. I want to teach you a word in Hebrew. And the word is kaveh. Can you say that? Kaveh. Kaveh. Kaveh means hope. Hope is the path to peace. Without hope, how can we even move in that direction? And this chant says, when you have hope, and you share that hope with the divine, whatever that looks like for you, you are automatically given strength of heart. Not strength of mind or body, but of your sacred heart. So our prayer is going to say, Kaveh, Kaveh, Kaveh El Shaddai. El Shaddai is a name for God. Can you say that? El Shaddai. El Shaddai. And that literally translates to God of high places, or in feminist Torah, we could say the God of breasts. That God that nurtures with the milk of the cosmos, the Milky Way. El Shaddai. So this is how it goes. And once you hear it a few times, let's sing it. Open your breath, open your holy voices. Fill the room and the room of your heart with hope. Kaveh, Kaveh, Kaveh El Shaddai. Kaveh, Kaveh, Kaveh El Shaddai.
yametz libecha. Lots of good consonants to chew on in there. The strength and the courage and the right to the heart of the libecha. Kaveh